This is Generation Stadia, giving you that daily dose of everything and anything Stadia related, and today we're gonna have a bit of a discussion topic. As each day goes by, we're getting closer and closer to Stadia's launch date. In fact, it's less than 2 weeks away at the time of this video. November 19th is the specific date, but I do want to ask you the question, do you think this is more of an official launch or an early access type rollout? Now, I've noticed that this is a discussion that happens quite often online, but it's also been happening a few times within our community Discord. Now, personally, I do have an opinion on this matter, but I want to explain both sides of the story here. There are definitely many reasons why you should be considering this an official launch, but there are also a lot of things pointing to this being some sort of rollout scenario. So to begin, let's take a look at why it should be considered the official launch date. First and foremost, Google is officially calling this the launch. I don't know if that's technically the best idea, but we'll talk a bit more about that later. Not only that, but all of the pieces of media that Google has put out for Stadia, be it their connects, interviews, or advertisements, they all declare the month of November as the launch of their brand new gaming platform. And let us not forget that they did actually run a beta for this technology not too long ago called Project Stream. Now, under normal circumstances, I would say that this would be the official launch date, but personally, I don't believe so, and a lot of the internet doesn't either. I mean, there's plenty of articles written on the internet discussing this and many forum posts as well. In fact, take a look at this. Polygon called Google Stadia the world's first early access console. And honestly, that's not too far off, but let's discuss exactly why that is. So first up, we need to discuss the fact that Google Stadia's biggest benefit is that it's going to be able to stream high-end gaming to anyone. While right now everyone's pretty much focused on the whole 4K 60 FPS thing due to being a Stadia founder, Stadia base will undoubtedly be the bigger audience, 60 FPS 1080p streaming without any upfront cost. The only thing you have to pay for is the game, and that's quite a selling point, but yet you can't actually use Stadia base unless you buy a Stadia Founders Edition, get the Premier Edition, or get access through a Buddy Pass. My personal take on this is that once Stadia base is available to the masses without having to pay any sort of upfront cost, that's when Stadia has officially launched its platform. Which, by the way, we still have no date for. All we know is that Stadia base will be available to everyone sometime in 2020. But the early access comparisons don't stop there. In fact, let's just take a look at the shipping date of November 19th. Now, I don't know about you, but I can't remember the last time I pre-ordered anything and then had it deliver later than the date that it's supposed to launch. Now, to be very clear, there's been many people who have contacted customer support and have been told that their shipment will begin earlier than their estimated delivery date that shows on their website. Which I would still like to believe, but honestly, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I wouldn't expect this thing to start shipping until the 19th comes. Let me put it this way, some people were told that they would have been getting their shipment on the 5th or 6th of the month, which is today, by the way. And believe me when I say that if somebody received their Stadia Founders Edition by now, we would have had videos of it, photos of it, or people talking about it on the Stadia subreddit immediately. And from what I've read online, nobody even got an estimated delivery date of November 19th, even if you ordered June 6th, the day that Stadia was announced. That has me thinking that that's when they will start to ship their Stadia Founders Editions. Now, to be fair, we were told that we would be receiving our code to activate our account on the day of shipping, so there is still a chance we can all access Stadia on that day. Shipping issues aside, we also have to talk about the fact that there's gonna be features missing. Features like achievements and family sharing aren't expected to show up until sometime later down the road. And the same would go for Stadia's controller, which at launch will only support wireless play on a Google Chromecast. Now, for all these reasons and more, it has me thinking that this is much more of an early access type deal rather than a fully fledged launch. And personally speaking, I have no problem with it. In fact, I kinda support what they're doing here. There's definitely gonna be pros and cons through going this route, but let's focus on the pros first. Now, the biggest pro you'll get from calling this the official launch date is that you'll generate a ton more sales. Most average consumers would be way too scared to invest in a product, especially with the early access title attached. In fact, even with games, a lot of people are wary of that title. Now, due to this leads to the second benefit, and that's getting the product in people's hands. Stadia is 100% one of those services that you need to try before you buy. Most people are still doubtful of Stadia being able to pull off a good gaming experience. So the best way to counteract this is by getting as many hands on it as possible. On the flip side, there is one really big con, and that's all the critiques that Stadia is going to face upon launch. And I guarantee you there will be plenty of reviewers docking points on Stadia simply because it's missing certain features that we've come to expect. Now, in the long run and the grand scheme of things, I don't think that's really going to affect Stadia in a big way. I do think the product can sell itself once Stadia base comes out, but I do know that there's many people out there who have set their expectations high for this launch in November, and I'm honestly thinking that they may be a little bit disappointed. Like every brand new product or service that comes out, I'm fully expecting launch day hiccups and some issues around it. But I am curious, where do you stand on this? Do you think Google is taking this as a full-on launch, or do you think they're rolling it out in stages? As you can tell by this video, I'm definitely on the side that thinks this is more of a rollout, and I won't consider it a full-on launch until Stadia base comes out. Anyways, that wraps up today's video. If you enjoyed it or found it helpful at all, be sure to hit that like button as it really does help the channel out, and if you want more content like this, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell as well. And for today's end of video message, there's two things I want to say. First off, thank you for watching this video. I know I kinda rambled in different directions, but I did feel like having this discussion topic. I'm looking forward to reading your replies in the comment section below, but the second thing I want to talk about is more important, as it's going to be the fact that I won't be uploading tomorrow. I wanted to give you all the heads up, as I will be using that time to review a game to gather some feedback for once Stadia launches to make sure I can provide the quality content you all enjoy. And before you get too excited, no, this isn't a Stadia game review, it's simply a random game that I'll be choosing to review. Now, even if you don't have interest in the game I choose to review, I will ask you to do me a favor and provide feedback on the video because it will help me review Stadia games in the future. Anyways, that's about all I have to say. Thank you for watching this video, and thank you for listening to the end of video message. This has been Generation Stadia, giving you that daily dose of everything and anything Stadia related, and the Gen S community is officially over 2,100 strong and growing by the day. And until next time, I'll catch you in the clouds.